Hey guys, Spirit of the Law here. I recently showed a game with the new Definitive Edition AI taking on 7 of the old CD version AIs. Originally, I was just going to do the one game, but I think the result in that video really cried out for a follow-up to see if 2 new AIs could take on 6 old ones. I'm interested in how that'll change things in a few different ways. First of all, it means there's the potential for trade, so the new AI won't simply lose because it runs out of sources of gold. Second, it means the new AI each only have to take on 3 old AIs, which is still a pretty big challenge, but at least sounds in the realm of possibility to me. Lastly, I'm curious to see how well the new AI works with an ally. You might have noticed if you've played with it that it's quite vocal about asking for resources and has a lot of new commands when it comes to unit compositions and going to flared locations on the map. So I want to see if the new AI can use those features to help coordinate better than the old AIs. Jumping into the lobby, you can see these settings here. I have 2 of the new AIs teamed up against 6 of the old CD version with random civilizations for everybody. The game settings on the right you can see are also set to default, and I want to leave all that stuff as standard as possible so that if it does win, it's going to be well earned. I hope you guys are as curious as I am to see if the new AIs can pull off a big win here. Let's check it out. Starting things off, we have in the blue one of the new AIs playing as the Magyars. Now, Magyars normally not really thought of as a top tier civilization, but I kind of like them for the AI because there's not really a way the AI can play them wrong. It could open up with archers, they get extra line of sight and totally reasonable. They can make cavalry archers with an extra attack and range upgrade in the late game. And of course, they could go stable units and knights and scouts and all that stuff. That's the more standard play. But you could even go infantry with the extra free attack upgrades. And plus, even, I guess their siege really isn't all that bad. So just lots of different ways they could play it. Or at least, it's really tough for the AI to actually play them wrong. And here we can see they're going to be opening up with a feudal rush into ranged units, which is, I guess I'd say, the standard for the new AI when it's outnumbered like this. As with any rush, of course, finding all your resources early is important, and you can see it's doing a little bit of scouting with its sheep here, and has a nice gold pretty close to the town center. You can take a look at their scouting here, and just a couple sheep right outside their scouting range there. I'm sure they'll find them pretty soon. The new AI is actually quite good at scouting. And the other new AI is going to be the Mongols. Now, Mongols a little bit similar actually to the Magyars in that they, in the late game, we can expect a lot of light cavalry and some cavalry archers, although obviously with the added bonus of some pretty awesome fast-moving siege, which I hope we get a chance to see. And it's out scouting, and can't seem to find these sheep, but I'm sure it will eventually. And moving things now to the old AIs here, the first one matched up against the Mongols is the Turks. Now, Turks versus Mongols, Mongols have a big early game advantage with their faster hunting. Now, Turks do have a faster gold collection bonus that could be good for archers or knights or something, but they're typically more of a strong Imperial Age civilization, already having to go full on berries because having a little bit of trouble finding its sheep here. And you can see the new AI is going to be luring a boar here in a sec. It seems to be its plan is to capture a boar. Not sure which one it's going for. And moving on, we have the Indians. Now, something that occurs to me about the Turks and the Indians is they both have access to camels, which would hard counter either the light cavalry or the cavalry archers that you would expect the new AIs to be making based on their civilizations. For Indians in particular, camels are kind of their thing. So we'll see if they're actually smart enough to pick that. The AI sometimes goes for a little bit unconventional army compositions, we'll say, to put it mildly. And next, in the teal, as far away as you can possibly get from the new AIs, is the Aztecs. Pretty good booming civilization. We could see some Eagle Warriors, that would be pretty strong. They do have a bonus against cavalry, and all around are just really good raiding units. Strong economy, obviously, for the Aztecs as well. They've got a few eco bonuses, including a hidden extra bonus to their farming. And the only thing I don't want to see from them is Jaguar Warriors, since that would be very anti-infantry, and we really shouldn't see very much infantry out of the new AI, especially the Mongols. That'd be kind of weird. And in the purple, we have the Franks, which I'm a little nervous for the AI playing them because it's one of those civilizations that have to be played a particular way. You kind of have to go for knights in this situation. Pretty much anything else I think would be a pretty big mistake, and I could see the AI going for one of its mixed army compositions where it has a few of every type of unit, and that's just not really what makes the Franks strong. At least I'm happy to see it's already making full use of the Franks foraging bonus. Next up we have the Mullions. We saw them last game as well, and they've got the barracks units that are better against archers, and that could come into play. Though, come to think of it, they also have camels, which I think would be the better call in this particular situation. But either one of those I think would be fine. They could go for infantry as well. That's also sort of their thing. And moving on, the last one is the Burmese. Burmese is kind of a tough civilization, I think, for the AI to play if we're giving it to the old AI. And hang on, what just happened here? Blue finally found Red's sheep. I'm sure Blue's trying to steal these sheep right now, but I think they're going to go right by Red's town center. That's good, because this is looking a little desperate. We've got 13. Yeah, 13. That's about 9 more than you want. Okay. Anyway, good teammate, Blue, even if you didn't mean to. And yeah, so what I was saying about the Burmese, I mean, they're an elephant monk civilization. I'm not sure the old AI actually knows how to play the new civs and can even know how to make elephants. So I think it might play it as an infantry sort of civilization. It might play them sort of like the Aztecs. You could see something like an infantry and monk and siege sort of situation, but we'll see what the AI chooses to do. Overall, I think it's a pretty nice cross-section of new civilizations, old civilizations, and I'm especially interested about the camel civilizations and if they'll know to make use of that. Even just a few mixed in could be pretty effective. Okay, so in terms of strategy, I didn't actually catch what the Mongols were planning to do, but they seem to be already going up to the feudal age with 22 villagers. That's very fast. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to go for archers and skirmishers. Let's go ahead. I would like to see them put down a barracks here. I'm sure they will at some point. Okay, and we see, yeah, there's our barracks. We do see that Blue's thinking about adding men-at-arms, so that's probably because they get the automatic attack upgrade as soon as they hit the next age from the blacksmith. So that could be good, though I'd like to see him put up that barracks pretty soon here. Oh, little fight here, lost the scout. I've noticed the new AI is actually very aggressive with its scout. It'll often lose it trying to raid villagers. Jumping back to Red, we see it has a fantastic feudal time, went up very quickly, and throwing down archery range right away, you're really going to struggle going up with 22 population, or at least I do. If I try to go up that quickly with 22 villagers and then try to keep the archery ranges working. At least I find it's better to go up 1 or 2 villagers after that. And you can see just not enough on gold here, really. You should have 3 to 4 for an archery range like this. And yeah, put down a second one. No way they're going to be able to sustain these archers for very long with only 2 on gold going for this. But do they even have... No, I was going to see if they have green scouted, and definitely not. It seems to be drawing a little arrow out here to the left for some reason. And the sheep is patrolling, protecting this particular tree for some reason. And picking a little fight there, apparently. So that's going to be a problem if they have gone all in here, trying to do double archery range. You can see they're not really able... Oh, I guess, yeah, you could do some skirmisher. Okay, that makes sense why there's only a couple on gold then. And... yeah, because if they don't know where the enemy is, then this is not a very useful rush. Is this a pathing mistake, or is this just the AI being weird? This is definitely the AI being weird. Okay, we do see Blue. Even though he lost a scout, he's now scouting with a spearman, and also taking on a little fight there, being attacked by the bear. And gonna deal with that pretty easily. You know, one thing I haven't pointed out here is... Uh-oh. No, no, no. Don't do it. Get away from the town center. No, don't lose your scout. Okay. So that's bad because Red didn't have green scouted and now just lost his scout. And poor Orange is feeling really picked on at this point, I'm sure. But as I was saying, one thing I haven't pointed out is how exposed this map is right now. So one thing the AI will do, and you can see it's pushing out with its men-at-arms with its extra attack upgrade and some archers, which should get fletching here at some point. And it'll head for the town center, but it'll actually run into these first, and I think it's going to fight in this wood line here. Let's see if Orange has the good sense to run away from this. And nope, trying to fight this off. You'll generally run away from ranged units, so I think once you come in with archers, and I'm glad we got fletching on there, that's a good choice. Yeah, it'll run away from archers, but sometimes it does try to fight, and I've noticed that with scouts as well. When you come in, it'll always try to fight. And this is one problem in the last game, was the AI, like the new AI, going right under the town center a little bit too much. But good job jumping in there and trying to pick off a couple units and doing some damage. And so far it's... Okay, well, that wasn't so great, but so far it's actually been pretty good about not going under that town center. And meanwhile, we can see this gets a little confusing here, so let's do this one. We can see the other AIs are starting to get into the castle age now. So we have here the Indians. Again, I really want them to go for camels. No military buildings are a sign of what they're going for so far, but their economy is looking pretty good. Mullions, also like to see them go into camels. A whole bunch on gold for some reason. And who else is Castle Age? We don't have the Franks in Castle Age quite yet. That would be really nice, and they're not even really all that close to clicking up. And already trying to wall up. This is kind of a weird spot to wall. Come on. Okay, and blue putting some good pressure though. This is much better rating than I thought in the last game. It seems to be backing up though. And what's this? A men-at-arm play from the Burmese. Okay. Kind of makes sense. They get the extra attack. I was thinking they might play it like that. And we're queuing up more. No, we're making long swordsmen. Okay. And finally going up to Castle Age. We have blue here. Doing its early rush. That was decent damage. I'm not sure how many villagers we actually got, but able to take all of those off, and now we've got nothing on gold. And now being chased away by one unit. Oh, we do have them on gold. They're just taking from the far gold now. Should probably build new camps. And meanwhile, we see red is moving forward here. Mongols. I mean, after such a fast feudal age, that's not ideal. Finally enough here that we probably could keep production going on those two, but have given up, apparently. And adding in another archery range. Why? Why would we have 3 when we're not even using 2 of them? And are you kidding me? This sheep is still patrolling this one area. I wonder if that sheep's going to be there the entire game. Don't get picked off. Oh, that was close. Almost got snagged by that evil warrior. Alright, well now we see basically everybody's up to the castle age now, except the Franks. Come on, you're supposed to be castling into knights here. And this is really weird, man. This is definitely not going to help their wood economy. Finally getting into the castle age, and we still have blue still not quite castle age, but just about there. And a little bit of a fight happening here, kind of out-teched a little bit by the Burmese, but it'll be nice to see. So we're queuing up a couple archers and getting some upgrades maybe. I don't think they have the food and gold for upgrades quite yet. But where are they going to go from here, the Magyars? It'd be nice to see them go into cavalry, I think. Don't really want to hang out in archers forever, although I guess they could. What are all these little arrows? What? That's weird. I've heard of planning a few steps ahead, but it's got like the next 15 moves planned out for each unit. Okay, and expanding, I do like to see that. So we have 5 archery ranges, 1 barracks, and 1 stable. I gotta question the 5 archery ranges. I guess we're just going heavy into skirms. And this is actually some pretty good pressure. They seem to be calling over the Mongols to help them out, who are also sending crossbows. Again, I'd like to see a little bit more in the way of cavalry here, but not too bad. And still raiding under the town center. You know, even if you do lose units like this, it's still very disruptive to their economy. And you see it brings over all the lumberjacks and gold miners here too. It's definitely confusing Orange a lot. I do wish these crossbows would stay out of range, but you know, can't ask for everything. And does red even know about green? Oh, it does know about green. Okay, so we could be attacking green. I think they might just be coordinating here. Nothing wrong with trying to take out one of your opponents quickly. I'm gonna speed this back up, but yeah, same sort of thing where we're seeing a little bit too much under the town center stuff. But he has successfully, I guess he's putting up a second town center, but successfully gotten him off the woodbine for quite a long time. And we see red is now changing direction, and red is now going to be going for green. I think this is good. Again, we see a wood that's forward, and hopefully AI can take advantage of that. Not sure what it's looking for here. I guess just scouting. And anytime you can take Turks off gold, you should definitely do that. This is a bit of a missed opportunity here. And what have we got from the other players? Kind of curious what sort of armies we've got going on. Because I do have some armies. We're at like 12, 14 units kind of thing. Still a lot of, yeah, going into the town center there. But at least red is finally pushing forward here. little bit of pressure. So let's see, we got the Turks just booming right now. No military, 0 military. That's dangerous because this army is going to be there pretty soon. And we do see yellow going forward with, okay, going for elephant archers, a castle up on top of the hill. Actually, good spot for a castle. And making mangonels, I like that. Just hitting Imperial Age at 30 minutes too, which is pretty good. Actually, a decent army here from yellow, and pushing back this little exploration. Finally getting some battering rams in here, which is good to see. And the Magyars, I think the Magyars are actually going to be able to clean up orange. Orange does not seem... Oops. Orange doesn't seem interested in making military at all. What does orange have? 4 military. That's not going to be enough. And all sorts of stuff happening around the map now. Haven't seen anything from the Mullions. The Mullions have grabbed a relic, that's good, and just men-at-arms. You can see they got the extra pierce armor there, but no upgrades otherwise. And still a lot of pressure happening here, and yes, this battering ram is going to make the difference. Because then, once the battering ram's close, the town center focuses on the battering ram, which means all the crossbows won't be picked off by town center fire anymore. And trying to fight this mangonel, you can see they're trying to dodge. Actually, that was a pretty good dodge. I'm impressed. And I'm starting to get a lot of alarms here, so I might switch to another player. So I'm just going to switch to the Aztec player here and see. I think just collecting relics, yeah, so I'm definitely not going for a monk push or anything. Should be pretty fun. You can see they are pushing out though with a lot of eagle warriors. Okay, I like that. That's going to be good for raiding. And meanwhile, oh, green's dying. And we do have a battering ram taking out this house, which focus down the town center, because the town center is going to focus on whatever's closest. So if we can just get this battering ram closest, then these other units can come in and pick stuff off. I think green's going to die here. Green's not making any military, and neither is orange. So these pushes have been quite successful. Although you can see Aztecs coming in, eagles are coming to save the day. And actually it's the perfect counter right now. Red's just gone into ranged units. And 3+1 armor, not bad. Actually, there's a lot of eagle warriors. Wow. You know what? Nice job here by the Aztecs. This is exactly what you want from the pocket player. To have them go right into Imperial Age and then tack straight into a unit like eagle warriors, just perfect. Red's having to pull all of his units back because his skirmishers at least are going to be doing 1 damage to these eagle warriors. And for some reason, blue's backed up. Had orange right where he wanted him, and he's back up. I guess maybe he's helping out red here. And another raid coming in, now being attacked by 2 different players at the same time. We're coming up on 37 minutes, so we'd expect a lot of these AIs to be hitting Imperial Age around now, and then starting some raids. And this mangonel was a good choice, but of course red focusing that down. Quite a bit of pressure on red at the moment, and not really helping things out is the fact that his second town center here is so far forward. It does seem like blue is aware of that though, and is coming in to help out a bit, which I think is the right call because orange is pretty much dead now. It may look a lot weaker than these elephant archers if you just look at the stats, but they get quite a bit of bonus damage against them, so this is actually a good matchup for red. Take it down pretty quickly. And already I think yellow's raid was cleaned up, although we can see that teal's eagle warriors are still around here. Still just going to be annoying, such an annoying unit to fight off. And let's see, how many? So they got 5 archery ranges, 2 stables, throwing down a castle here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of pressure from... Just going to switch here, so we maybe get fewer alarm sounds. We do see some nice raiding. And a little mangonel here. And it might actually take out this town center. This castle is going to be pretty useful. And what's blue doing? Blue, where's your army? Blue's army is back here. Cleaning up this weird attack by the Mullions. Why are they sending in men-at-arms? Huh, at least they're focusing down mangonels and stuff. Would like to see a few more upgrades here. Although, yeah, Imperial Age Mullions sending in men-at-arms. Weird. And I'm seeing more raids coming in from the Aztecs, and it's starting to transition into knights, although knights aren't necessarily great against eagle warriors either. We got these monks coming in, getting a few conversions now, and glitching out the red AI. Definitely taking a lot of pressure here, and when you think about it, 4 of these AI haven't even been hit at all. It's true we've got 2 of them, and now we even see Frank's coming in, although Frank's coming in with long swordsman. Yeah, I don't feel great about that. Yeah, should be coming in with only knights, really. I mean, some knights in here would be a disaster for blue. I do see some mangonels here coming in from the Mullions. I think that would be a nice addition to this army. Streaming in a lot of infantry, and remember they are the Mullions, so they're getting extra pierce armor, even if they aren't staying on top of their upgrades at all. Just they get it automatically. And gonna be good against all of these skirmishers that we're seeing. Let's speed things back up a little bit here. And green has survived, although green is not rebuilding, as far as I can tell. He's got 0 military. Same thing with orange, he's got 2 military. And their main contribution right now is just to keep garrisoning their town center and to distract the AIs. But we're seeing a pretty substantial push. This raiding was looking pretty bad for a sec, and we still see a little bit of raiding coming in. Some Arbalest and the Eagle Warriors was a really good choice. And we see a little bit of that Jaguar Warrior. Okay, sure. AI just loves the more types of units, the happier it is. It's funny. And this is good, like we're getting some coordination, but this is the most AI army I've ever seen. You've got elite skirmishers, you've got crossbows, you've got heavy cavalry archer, you've got elite Magyar Hussar. It's just we've got 5 different unit types. We've got battering rams, that one I really like to see. And the cavalry archer is great. They actually are not fully upgraded quite yet, but they're going to be quite good. And meanwhile, while they're out here, we are getting some more raids here from the Indians, although still not going for camels. I still think that would be the right call, especially now that the Mongols player is teching into cavalry. And these elephant archers aren't terrible. I do like this addition of siege, though. I think these trebuchets could give red a lot of trouble, because AI doesn't always prioritize down trebuchets more than other units nearby. Orange is dying, though. That was fast. Once you bring in the rams, that happens fast. So I think any second I'll actually get rid of them. And they seem to be tributing each other. I just saw that yellow seems to be slinging teal a little bit. I guess just helping him make his Eagle Warriors. And there we go, orange is officially defeated. So the first of the old AIs is taken out. And this is going to be a tough army for the old AIs to stop now. It's a very mobile and also population efficient army. And just looking at scores, you can see they're kind of running away with it right now. Yeah, they're going to get through that gate in not too long. And I like this teamwork that they're doing. Although red seems to be going in for some raids, and I like the elite Mangadai, that's good. And it's actually a really smart unit combination, so it's going for the right things, I would say, as Mongols. Going for some siege. You can see them asking each other for resources every now and then. And among all the other thoughts that they give themselves. And I'm curious at the end to see how much slinging was going on both sides of this. We see blue pushing in here, still not fully upgraded, but I mean this is pretty good. 0+6 pierce armor, that's going to be really good against town centers and all that. And coming in again, rams are a great idea here. It's going to make everything a lot easier to push through. And I think gray's next. This is starting to get a little bit snowbally. We do still see the Aztecs are pushing hard here, but now another AI is out. We've just lost green, and Turks, unfortunately, they would have had actually a lot to offer against this. And just hitting Imperial Age, I have to say the AI I'm most disappointed in right now is the Franks. They've had the whole game completely unharassed, just expand their economy, and I feel like they have enough villagers here. I just don't know what they're spending their resources on. Let's go, let's get some knights, let's get Cavalier, let's get Paladin. Paladins would be a great counter to what we're seeing from the new AI. I just get some trade going and just start spamming them out. Instead, we're just not really seeing much. How many? It's got 2 stables. It's just starting to build the second stable at 53 minutes as the Franks. That just doesn't compute for me. Yeah, that'd be who I would look to about who's kind of letting down the team right now. So, that being said, gray's pretty much cleared out here. It's probably going to lose its castle. Yeah, certainly if we've got a trebuchet. And red with the Mongols, yes. And we're going for siege rams, probably getting that speed boost. Looks like they're pretty fast. And at least here we do see the Franks player making a few knights, though I still can't believe they're knights and not cavalier, but yeah, okay, I take it back a little bit. I mean, they are at least making some knights. And you can see they're doing good work. They're going to clean up all these rams here. Yellow putting up another castle. Perfect. the old AIs are doing much better on this side of the map than on the other side. And blue seems to meanwhile be a little bit confused by these walls. It's not trying to push through and get through the other side of the walls. It seems to be trying to get around, and it's getting confused by gates and walls and everything else. And Gray's just resigned. Okay, well, fair enough. I don't think Gray really had much left. I think that castle was gone. I don't know what he was living on right now anyway. But this is a good push here from the old AI. So we've got these now basically fully upgraded. Not quite, but just about fully upgraded Eagle Warriors. And Steel Knights. Don't remind me. And pushing, but this is going to be tough because, you know, you can just tell by the score how fully boomed red is. And you can see they're starting to get their trade going. Not an ideal trade route by any means with all these houses in the way, but it'll do the job. Still, I mean, they've got trade, and that's going to make a big difference here. Especially for the Mongols, so they can make their elite Mangudai in siege. And see, Aztecs trying to be everywhere on the map. Aztecs are definitely the team MVP, I would say, so far on the old AIs. But really, blue and red are both pushing on each side, just tightening the vise. And we can see that yellow's now about to go down. And unfortunate to see the Indians without, I didn't even see one single camel out of them, which is too bad. But it could be the old AI just doesn't play the new civs very well. And what we got here, this is being held off by this castle. They seem to go in. Every time they get kind of close and the castle shoots at them, they run away. I mean, it makes sense they would have a behavior to avoid castles. You don't really want this going up against the castle, but at the same time, it'd be nice to get some siege over here. Get these trebuchets, which also seem to be doing what? Okay, there we go. So bring the trebuchets. This will go down, and it's kind of a race to see if blue's going to kill purple before red kills teal. So we'll see. But I like the unit choice of elite Mangudai here. Getting a little hung up, I think, on destroying buildings here. And I'm not sure why it's pulling back. Where is it going for? I know, the AI is so funny. It'll hang on for so long just to be annoying, which is good because it probably should. And, oh, purple leaving the gate open. Yeah, whoops. So, purple, how many? He's got 3 stables. None of them making anything, with quite a bit in the bank. What is purple making? Purple has 16 military and dropping. And you just see the military numbers, like, wow. The new ones, you can see their economies are twice as big, almost, as the old AI. And you can see they're keeping their military numbers up. And basically at 200 population, whereas even combined, the 2 AIs left can't actually reach that amount. No, I didn't see it, but yellow resigned. And moving forward, yeah, now that we're adding the siege onager in, it's a great unit to throw in here. Killing more of their own units than teals, though. And we see blue making a pretty serious push on purple here. And going around, and Elite Mega Hussar is just so annoying when it goes in and raids, and it gets attack bonuses against siege, and just a very annoying unit to deal with. Yeah, I think purple's the next one to go. Again, like I said, purple was sort of the disappointing one for me here, that it just didn't play Franks very well. And that's not even one of the new civilizations. So it's not just that playing a new civilization, they don't know how to play it. It's even some of the old civilizations. Just makes sort of weird choices sometimes. And you see this all siege army. Kind of lucky there's no Eagle Warriors around. It's a very dangerous thing to have without any support. But I think this one's pretty much wrapped up. I'm just going to speed ahead. We're going to see if anything interesting happens, but I think the AI's got this on lockdown. This is much better, I thought, than the last game. Not just because they had 2 of them, you know, they can keep the gold and everything. But, yeah, the little onager shots like that. But even beyond that, I think the early raids, especially by blue, was much more effective. Even green got basically knocked out, and green, not a lot of resilience from the old AI. Both orange and green got just a little bit of pressure and basically stopped making military entirely. And I would think purple's going to resign here pretty soon. You can see he just sent all of his resources to teal. And I mean, Teal's got a couple of castles still. I don't think he'll give up when it's still got 3 castles. And trying to go for a 4. But yeah, this is over. Now it's 2 versus 1. And blue seems to be backing up. Yeah, it kind of gets confused by walls sometimes. I mean, that being said, Teal's got 3 relics, so, you know, you never know, right? And I'm really curious, once all the villagers die, is it just going to give up? It's making 1 crosswoman right now, and still hanging on. Red's like, I don't need to wait for you. And blue, I'm just going to take this down with siege onagers. Yeah, but I thought that was a pretty solid boom. I'm just going to go around and take a look while they clean up the last couple of castles here with siege. Pretty solid boom back home. What have we got? Yeah, see, this is so impressive. They only have 68 villagers right now. So the AI is definitely transitioning from, like, it had way more villagers than that, right? It had like 120 to 130 at one point. And it seems to do a transition to fewer villagers. Although hard to say, a bunch of these might actually be trade carts now that I think about it. But no, even still, we're still talking about, it was up at like 130 and it starts dropping down. It transitioned more into heavy military, which is a real strategy where you overboom a little bit and then call your villager numbers later. So that stuff is kind of small, but I find really impressive. So let's go back and just take a look. Just eventually steamroll them with siege and cavalry archers, which is the right thing to do. And the Magyar player with the cavalry archers with 8 range and also the elite Magyar Hussar, like these are all really smart choices. And I didn't even feel bad about the choice to go with the archers at the beginning, since it transitioned out of them and didn't just stick with archers. So I thought all of the choices the AI made in terms of strategy were really good in this game. It's very impressive. And let's take a look here at score and everything. Obviously, the new AIs are going to have the better score. And good ratios. I didn't realize, actually, purple made a decent number of units. Yeah, okay, so the problem wasn't he wasn't making units. The problem was he wasn't making the right type. Should have just made knights. And that could have been really strong. I mean, if we had knights and we had eagle warriors coming from those 2 furthest pocket players, that could have been really strong in terms of rating. And we can see a lot of, whoa, 15,500 resources sent from blue. So blue was definitely slinging red here. I didn't realize it was happening to that extent. Definitely noticed red asking for wood a couple of times, but yeah, that's a lot. Wow. And you can see the other AIs working a little bit. And you can see green was slinging. I don't really like that plan. And also purple slinging a little bit, sending some resources. I do like this, that they were slinging the Aztec player. They were slinging the Indian player. That one's a little confusing to me because he didn't really seem to be doing that well. Look at those Imperial Age times. 27 minutes, or 28 minutes, and 30 minutes. Like, that's solid. For the AI, of course. And good castle times too. 17 minutes and 18 minutes, really good. And the villager high, you can see they definitely overboom and then drop their numbers later. And I know I've said it a couple times, but I'm really impressed by that behavior. And you can see things are looking pretty good. Up to about 42 minutes. If you just ignore everything to the right of that, it's pretty tough. It looks pretty close. It looks like these guys might actually outboom them. But then once they hit Imperial Age, it's just more and more units. And they just do this, turn this on, hit this next level, the new AI. It can just go crazy after an hour and just max out its population. Really impressive. So nice to see a little bit of redemption from the new AI. And I had a pretty good feeling it would win. But, you know, it's certainly not guaranteed going up. Each one has to basically do a 1 versus 3. And I thought it did a really good job rushing and booming and just making really, really smart choices in that game. But that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.